Good morning. Good morning. There is so much to be grateful for in your life right now. I know sometimes when we're going through it, it's easy to feel like, oh, I just want to be at this next level. I want to be at this next, financial bracket or this next goal. And we just get so focused on ticking off all of the things on our to-do list that we forget to live. We forget to be grateful for what it is that we have now. And I was looking through some of my notes and I went to this Bob Proctor webinar thing a long time ago, and he was talking about the law of increase and how gratitude is an amplifier, really. And it connected the dots for me, and how, without knowing it at the time, I was using gratitude to get myself out of depression. I was using gratitude to get myself out of being really toxic and healing and all of these things that I was going through during that season of my life. And it made so much sense, because when you could just be still and appreciate what it is that you have, there's so much beauty in that. And I had a conversation with a girlfriend of mine, oh my gosh, probably 5 years ago. And I remember growing up without much. And I went from family to family and all of that. But there was a happiness. There was a happiness between the relationships with people, with the friendships with people, that I noticed didn't exist when I was in other, I guess, socioeconomic dynamics, right? When I was exposed to people who had more money, when I was exposed to people who were financially free, right? Their level of happiness wasn't the same as that family who was considered poor. It was me when we were considered poor, right? We had dinner together and we would shoot the shit and talk jokes and all of that. Whereas some of the people who had financially more were constantly seeking more, and they weren't present. So where am I going with this? A lot of times we can be distracted by the idea or the dream and not being present in the moment, doing the things, feeding and fueling the thoughts, the ideas, the conversations that will get us to that next place, right? Because it's about the process. It's about the connections that we make. And I have chills as I'm sharing this with you, because it's really emotional, but it's about the connections that we make along the way, and those conversations we have with friends where those bright ideas come. When we have those conversations with people who are willing and able to, hold space and let you dream safely out loud, that is when it's something so energetically aligned and magical and good happens. And my point is that there's always going to be something else that someone wants. Always. I want to make $1,000 a day. I want to make $1,000 a month. I want to make $2,000 a minute. I want to make whatever it is, right? There's always something that someone is chasing, but sometimes you have to stop chasing and just be still and just say thank you and enjoy it, because that is where more space is created, more capacity to sustain, to not just get what you want and then be miserable. Because how often do we hear stories about people who won the lottery or they had success overnight and they had all this money and they were alone, or they were miserable, or they didn't have that fulfilled. I don't want to make it seem like it's something negative, but they didn't have that fulfillment in the way that they dreamed because of the way that they got there. They skipped a few steps, right? And that's why they say it's lonely at the top, because there's a couple ways that you can get to the top, and depending on how you get there, you may actually be alone. But then there are people who are at the top, but they have fulfillment, they have healthy relationships, they have gratitude, and it's not all about them, but it's about holding that space and amplifying that love and compassion and grace and gratitude, because it's about everyone. We rise together, and it's such a beautiful concept. But anyways, I felt like I wanted to share that as I was just reflecting on some things. And I am sending each and every single one of you a lot of love. Let me know if this resonated, if this was helpful. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.